Today, we're looking at the Xiaomi Mi Watch, a £99 smartwatch with a lot of bells and whistles. Let's find out whether you can actually ring any of those bells or blow any of the whistles. Whilst I'm unboxing this, let me tell you some of the things you get for £99. Some of it is real basic and a must in a smartwatch, like the heart rate monitor. Yep, it has one. GPS, built-in GPS. Great. It's waterproof. You can go for a swim if you want to. Not right now, but you can. It also has an O2 measure thing. I don't know, and I guess it's similar to what you can get in the Series 6 Apple Watch. You know, it measures your oxygen level in your blood. And that's something that whatever, it has it. It's not very accurate, but it's in there. And finally, it's got 14 days of battery life. This is ridiculous because if you're here to find out whether this watch lasts 14 days, it does not. Under any circumstances last for 14 days. The max I've got it is about 7-8 days with, a lot of things turned off, and I probably wouldn't want to go down that route. So on average, I've got about 5 days, 5 to 7 days, which I think is incredible still. You don't have to lie about getting 14 days. If you compare that to the Apple Watch, where I get about 2 days max, and that's about it. Yeah. So compared to that, it is incredible. 5 days? Wow. I can sleep with it every day for 5 days. It's great. And whilst we're on the topic of unboxing, the unboxing is pretty simple, neat. Unlike the rest of the watch, it doesn't have many bells and whistles. It comes with a single strap, not one for small people and one for large people or large hands. You get a single strap and there's a charger, and that's about it. So now that the unboxing is out of the way, let me tell you what I make of it on a day-to-day basis. First of all, the comfort level. And before we get into the comfort level, I've always wanted a circular watch face. I've had the Apple Watch since the first one that came out, and the square face is grown old on me. So when this watch came out and it was pretty cheap, I was like, oh, this is really exciting. I really want to put it on. And the reason I'm talking about this is because, it looks like a watch, it feels like a watch with the circular face, and I'd be like, oh, it'd be just as comfortable as a watch. And how wrong I was. This isn't very comfortable on my hand. It doesn't sit right on my hand. Now, I don't know if it's because it's a bit too big, right? I've been used to the 44mm from Apple Watch, and that sits perfectly on my wrist. I feel I have small wrist anyway. But this one, it's a bit big, and I think what makes the comfort level a bit iffy for me is the fact that you only get one strap. So there isn't, different sizes for me to fit in, whether it's too tight or too loose. And I think I need something in the middle of the two buckle holes that I have. I think one is too tight and one is a bit too loose. And only if they did another strap, which was, in between these ones, would have worked for me. So there's the comfort. I think it's reasonably comfortable, but if you're on the smaller wrist size, then, I'd stay away from this one. The iffy comfort level doesn't really detract from the build quality. I think the build quality is really good across the board, right? And for £99, you would expect most things to be plastic. I think the watch itself and the face itself and the bezels are sure they're slightly big, but they're not too big. The buttons, both of them, clicky, responsive, tactile. I like that. The only part of the watch that I don't like are the straps. Now, of course, you can go and buy external straps, but this is the one that the watch came with, and it feels cheap. I don't know why. For £99, I was expecting better. The reason I was expecting better is because the smaller sibling, the Mi Lite, has a better strap than this one. Go figure. Right? This one just feels a bit naff, a bit cheap, and like I said, leads to a slightly less comfortable feeling on my hand, and doesn't feel like I can, have it on all the time. So there's that. But apart from that, the build quality is pretty good. Now comes the big one, the OS, right? What do I make of this custom OS they have, which isn't Googleware? It isn't something that you can just, link multiple things to. It's something that Xiaomi have built specifically, purpose-built for their watches, right? The OS. Well, this is where you'll see a big differentiation between this watch and a lot of the other watches that are available on the Android side, right? Because the customizability is minimal. Now, for me, coming from an Apple Watch, I think that's fine. There's a select few watch faces you get, and that's all the selection you get. You can't pick from a third party, whatever. I'm used to that. There's a good variety of them. I like my watch faces to be simple, and they have a lot of simple ones, but you can go across the board. There's some sporty ones, utility ones, normal, minimal, animations, you name it. They've built their own watch faces and it works. It's minimal. Like I said, it's not going to be something that you'll be able to pick and choose from the the Google Play Store. So there's the customizability, right? It's not quite Android. Now, if that's something that's a deal breaker for you, then, well, I'm sorry. But for me, I think it has plenty of watch faces and I only use one, a minimal one. It really works for me. I don't need a lot of bells and whistles when I'm looking at my watch. So there's that. Now, this watch does come with the always on feature where you're not going to be able to make this watch last 14 days, right? But there are a few quirks with the always on feature. Well, first of all, you can have two different faces, right? You can have the face that's on when you're looking at the watch, and when it goes into the battery saving mode, you can decide which watch face to pick. Now, these watch faces don't match up. They don't have a sibling that would turn on as soon as you go into the battery saving mode. That's a bit weird. I would like there to be some consistency when I go from watch face A to watch face B, but there isn't one. Once you go into the battery saving mode, you have a select few watch faces you can pick, and from what I can tell, none of those match up to the actual watch faces that you have. So there's a bit of a jarring feeling when you go from, oh, I'm looking at my watch, holy shit, it's turned to another watch face and there's not much detail, right? On top of that, the other thing which doesn't work is the race to wake feature is turned off when the always on feature is on. So basically that means that if you've got the always on feature for your display, you raise your wrist, you're still going to see the battery saving mode. You're not going to see your original watch face. And in order to see your original watch face, you're going to have to click a button. That is really frustrating. I really hope they improve that because it's no fun, right? I don't want to see the minimal watch face when I raise my wrist. Like, why are you disabling this feature? Don't. Turn it back on. Let me look at my watch face that I want to look at. So that is a real pet peeve that I have. It's really annoying that I can't just raise my wrist on the always on mode and see my original watch face. And for this reason, and also for the battery saving reason, I just don't have it on. I just leave it, to the normal where I raise my wrist. They do have the feature where you raise your wrist and you can see your watch face and you turn it down or put your wrist down and it goes away. Great, right? So I use that raise to wake, what they call, and that one works. The benefit of using that is you don't get that jarring, UX of like, oh shit, why is it still saying on the other watch face? You don't get that. But the benefit is you get a longer lasting battery life. Like, it's huge, 7 days, incredible, perfect. I should add that there's a setting on the watch where you can turn the display on and keep it on forever. That is not the same as always on. So if you think it's the same, it's not, right? What that allows you to do is keep your display on for a very long period of time. It's available through your shortcuts and that's it, right? So that's not the same as having your display always on. Two different features, two different purposes, but I wanted to let you know that as well. Now, there's another thing that I don't like, and at this point you're probably thinking, holy shit, there are so many things you don't like about this watch. Is there anything you do like? Well, yes, there is. But the other thing that I think is a bit weird is the notifications, right? You get the notifications through. You can't customize them to the nth degree, but you do receive notifications from WhatsApp, from Slack, from Gmail, from Hotmail, from whatever you call it. You can get this on your watch. Great, right? But what's really annoying is if I'm looking at my phone and I get a notification, I see it on my phone, but my wrist also buzzes. Like, why are you sending a notification? You know I'm already looking at the phone. Don't do that. So that's another thing that I don't like. I think, well, I hope they solve this in the future using the software. I don't know if they will, but there's that. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not very impressed with the OS, right? It's pretty half-baked. You know, it's got some things in one place and some things in another place, and you know, the always on display doesn't work as I expect it to work, as you'd expect it to work. The notifications are half-baked. The only redeeming feature of using their own software, OS, is you get a better battery life. That's the only thing. This will last you for a week without charging. Is that enough for you to buy the watch? That brings me to the final part, fitness. The reason a lot of people buy a smartwatch is tracking their steps, because your phone doesn't do it well enough. And in the pandemic, you're looking to keep active. What better way to do it than a watch, right? How is the Xiaomi Mi Watch going to serve you and make you a healthier person? Well, you can walk, you can run, you can do yoga, you can do swimming, you can do all of those things, and it's going to be able to track all of that with the app that it comes with. It's got a default app that this watch works with, and it tracks a lot of different things, right? It tracks your sleep. It tells you how much deep sleep you had and how much rough sleep you've had, like I'd like to call it. And it does it. Is it right? I don't know. I don't know if I've had 3 hours of deep sleep versus, 4 hours of non-deep sleep. But it tracks it somehow. It has stress levels. I have no idea how it's tracking my stress levels and gives me a number for the stress level, but it gives me that. It gives me my VO2 max for the exercises that I've done. It gives me my blood oxygen level, which I haven't measured and I don't want to measure because I think it's going to be terrible from the 1 or 2 times I've done it, and it's not very accurate. But the reason you're here is for tracking the walking that I've done. Look at these 5K that I ran. Wow. Impressive. Why did this kilometer take 14 minutes? Jesus Christ. Okay. So it doesn't have the auto pause feature, which I'd like it to have. It has it, but it's a bit fiddly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And yeah, so apart from that bit in the middle, it knows where I am. The GPS is working as I'd expect it to work, which is great. And it gives me rough times around how long I took to do my kilometer, what my cadence is of my steps, which is great, and my heart rate, right? All of the things which you would expect to find out after you do a walk or a run are here. Now, they're here and they're only going to stay within this app. You are unable to export any of this to any third-party apps like Strava, basically, right? You're not going to be able to get this data into a third party. Ugh, so annoying. Another thing why? Like, let me share my running data with an actual provider that all my other friends are using. Why do you do this? So there's another downside, which is that it's either this app or no app. And that's it. This was supposed to be a first impressions, my unboxing around this product, but you might think, wow, this man can rant about a watch for a long, long time. Now, it may feel like that because actually it's kind of a rant, right? It's me telling you what I make about this watch. And personally, I'm not impressed, right? Comfort level is a number one key thing for me, and it's not very comfortable to me, right? The OS is half-baked, which isn't great, right? and the fitness side of things are there, but not really, right? You can't actually export that data to any third party. So you're basically tied to the ecosystem. Now, this isn't an Apple ecosystem, which you're going to be happy to live in, so there's that. I mean, it isn't the Apple Watch, and it isn't that cheap. It's £100, right? 3 times that price, you get an Apple Watch. 2 times that price, you get a Fitbit Versa. Some things you can do, those 2 products you can do a lot with. And for that reason, I just wouldn't recommend you get this particular product. That's it. Like, I don't think I'm going to make a review on this product because I don't think I'm going to keep it. It's that bad. And that's it. If you're in the market for a smartwatch and you have £100 on you, don't buy this one. My honest opinion. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.